Okay? Okay. We started looking at this problem-solving strategy that I wanted you all to learn, and it had 5 steps to it. Anybody know the first step? Remember the first step, what we did? Yeah. Issues. And what does that mean?
Like what the problem is and what you're trying to figure out.
And could you use issues on anything, or did it have to be specific? Okay, any ideas of what things you might use in real life as issues?
Well, first we looked at global conflicts, but you can look at pretty much any problem that you have.
As a kid? Okay. And then what was the next step that we went through? After you identified issues.
Perspective,
And what does that mean?
the different views on that issue.
Okay, and did you have to be careful, Elizabeth, of,
Yeah, you couldn't use bias. You
Okay.
had to find facts that
Right.
supported both sides.
right, that supported both sides, absolutely. So what stage are you in right now? Knowledge, and what does that mean?
Just to get information on your topic.
Okay, and what kind of information? Where'd you go for that information?
Like different sources, like browse the internet or books.
Okay, and when you went to the internet and found something that you thought was relevant, did you only stay with that piece of information, or what did you
Like,
do?
we're on for like other perspectives, like going over different.
Okay, do you
For example, since we're doing oil, well, one place I went to look for information was on the ExxonMobil website, but I also went to other websites because ExxonMobil happens to be an oil company, so they're gonna have some bias in what they.
And when we did this in the fall, I mentioned a T word. What's that called? Triangulation. And what are you doing when you triangulate?
You look at 3 different websites so that you know that the information you have is legit.
Does it have to be websites?
No, it could be any source.
Okay, but when you're doing that, what are you trying to do?
Make sure that you have good information.
Exactly.
True.
So if you find it from 3 different sources, you're more likely to think that what you're finding is really accurate. Yeah.
I was just wondering, if you like don't think the sources are all that great or whatever, could you use more websites or?
What do you all think?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what you're going to do today, you've been building your knowledge about your particular issue. And we went through, and your periods thing is up here. We've identified the top 5 issues that you all thought were the most important. We've decided that each one of your teams that we put together using a Kagan structure, but we decided that each one of your teams was going to focus on one of those issues. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to share the questions and the information you found and you designed. And then we will come together. What you as a team need to do is pick the one question that you think is the most pertinent to your issue. Share all the information that you've found. And remember, you're building a portfolio for me. You're going to turn all of this stuff into me at the end of this. But you need to figure out if the one question that you think should be shared with the whole group. Then we'll come back in about 15 to 17 minutes, and you'll share that one question and what you found. Then we'll open it up to the whole group. Do you think that other questions might come up as a result of that? Why do you think that?
They just like lead to other responses.
Is that how questions work? Yeah, absolutely.
We mentioned divergent and convergent questions yesterday.
And we did. And what you're all doing is coming up with what kind of questions? Are there ever going to be right answers for those kind of questions?
No.
Probably not. They're just going to create more questions, like Emily said. Okay, when you hear the chimes, you know that it's time to come back together as a group, okay? All right, work.
Okay, so I know how